Hello and welcome to What's Next. I'm your host, Matt Brading. This week it's Film Week again. Later on I'm talking to two film students who've made their own 48-hour film challenge. But before that, Dan and Zoe are here to talk about the latest movie news.
First up is Carancho. It stars Ricardo Darin, who plays an insurance scammer who starts a romance with a drug-abusing paramedic played by Martina Gusman. The film was directed by Pablo Trapero, the director of the foreign film Lion's Den.
Carancho so far has been a huge success with the critics, and it shows to be a very promising and daring thriller. I'm personally looking forward to the release of this film. I'm a massive thriller fan. I don't think there's been enough good thriller films out in the past few years.
We bought a zoo.
No, we didn't. It's the name of the film.
Oh.
Yeah.
We Bought a Zoo stars Matt Damon as a widowed father who attempts to renovate a failing farm into a zoo with his two children. It's based on a true story about Benjamin Mee, but the film takes place in California as opposed to the real-life location of Devon.
Benjamin has a lot of ups and downs, and with the help, he attempts to make ends meet. The film's directed by Cameron Crowe, the man who was behind Jerry Maguire and Almost Famous. So naturally, there are very high expectations for the film.
After the huge critical and financial success of The Hangover, have you heard of The Hangover?
I can't remember it.
The makers are back with another drunken mayhem movie, Project X. This time, the protagonists are teenage boys hosting a huge house party to end all house parties.
The drunkenness, sex and general tomfoolery ensure what promises to be one of the funniest and most outrageous films of the year.
The Oscars.
This year was a sweep for the artist, which was promising from its first release in Cannes. It walked away with 5 wins, including Best Film and Original Score.
Predicted by every single person, Meryl Streep walked away with the Oscar for Best Actress for her stunning portrayal of Margaret Thatcher in The Iron Lady. Apparently not a sequel to Iron Man.
Martin Scorsese's film Hugo also took home 5 Oscars, but it did miss out on the most major awards, but it did win the award for Best Cinematography.
It was good to see my favourite host, Billy Crystal, back on the stage, singing songs and inserting himself into the past year's films. Now, here's mine and Zoe's lists of our top 3 films from the past year. My number 3, Super 8. It's about a group of kids who have a Super 8 camera and they're making a film. And then in making the film, they stumble across a monster who terrorises the town. Spielberg produces this and you can see his stamp all over it. It's nostalgic and it's very heartfelt. Number 2 is Blue Valentine, starring Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams. The story is about a relationship. It flips between the beautiful start and the downfall end. The performances are raw and true, and that's 2 words great to describe the film. Raw and true. I loved it. Number 1, Tree of Life. The story involves a family and how they struggle to get along in the 50s. It also involves nature, religion, and many other different themes thrown into one. It's beautiful. The performances are spot on. The cinematography and the music work well together. I absolutely loved it. It blew me away.
My top 3. At number 3, we need to talk about Kevin.
Do we?
Someone really does.
Oh.
This follows a mother and a son who have never seen eye to eye, and we see Kevin turn into a very, very psychotic individual. Tilda Swinton, in particular, gives an amazing performance. The cinematography is effective, especially in the very last scene. The film just flows perfectly and is very emotional, so give that one a watch. Number 2, Animal Kingdom. The storyline tackles loyalty towards family, as well as conflict, which the film's title completely reflects upon. The whole film is a very gritty insight of a close family tree. The characters are played extremely well, and the end scenes in particular are extremely tense. And at number 1, The Skin I Live In. This stars Antonio Banderas, who's never gotten over the loss of his wife. He attempts to make a skin that's indestructible, and the story quickly turns very, very sinister. It doesn't really fit into a particular genre, and it has an amazing score to go along with it. The main themes are perfection, revenge, and beauty. And without revealing too much, it just questions how far some people will go to get their own way. And I can just describe this film as beautiful.
I'm now joined by Alex Barton and Oliver Bruce. Hi guys.
Hi.
So what films stand out for you from last year?
Well, I mean, for me, my favourite film of 2011 had to be Elite Squad 2, The Enemy Within.
Okay, I don't really know anything about that film.
Well, the Brazilian producers of City of God, which was made in 2002, have been making films ever since then, and they've been getting progressively better, and I think this is the best one they've done to date.
Okay, cool. And you two set up your own 48-hour film challenge. Why don't you tell us a bit about it?
Well, it's exactly what it is. It's a challenge that we set to anyone, not just film students, to film, make, produce, whatever you want to call it, a film within 48 hours.
Okay, and what rules do you give people when they make the film?
It's got to involve, revolve, or somehow include the two words, whether that's you have it as the title as the film, if you really want to cheat, or as you just somehow elaborate on the two words, so you can have such as iceberg, so you could use lettuce for that, or something similar, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be literally
it doesn't
the
have
object.
It doesn't have to be a literal meaning for it.
But you can just sort of talk about an iceberg or something like that, you know, you don't have to be involved in it, you don't have to see it, anything, just talk about it.
And you made an example film using the words telescopic cupboard?
We did, yes.
Well, let's take a quick look at that.
Oh, hello.
Hey, you alright, mate?
So how did you find making a film in 48 hours?
That one wasn't particularly too hard. We came up with the concept and filmed it within the same day and did all the posts on the day after it and got it uploaded and onto YouTube so people would watch it. The idea of this is to try and show people what they can do within 48 hours, and that's what we did. We have done other films that have been uploaded and people have watched on YouTube in less than that. We did one on Thursday within 3 hours.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
Like 1,200 views on YouTube, so yeah.
Not bad.
Quite happy with that.
But the 48 hours we think is a decent amount of time.
Yeah, for most people.
There are other challenges that are out there that do incorporate, that do use 48 hours. There's one that's 72 hours, which I think yourself has taken part in.
Yeah, I did the 72-hour film challenges.
But those ones you have more, specific rules, like a line of dialogue or a prop or a character. These ones, it is literally just these two words, and you use those words however you want to, and get them into your film somehow. And we really just want to show young people the potential that they have to be creative, because that's not really being seen as much nowadays.
You don't always have the opportunity at university, because at university you're making films you're making films for your module. You're not making films that you want to make. So we're giving people a small amount of inspiration to go off and just make anything they want.
So how have you found the submissions that you've had so far?
They've all been quite interesting. We've had some good ones for Headline and Custard, which were
just lots of shots of custard.
Really. It was January. The people were quite literal with that one. We got some more out there ones for last month's, which were not lettuce, iceberg and razor.
Oh, okay.
And telescopic cupboard was our trial one that we had done for just us to practice what we preach and do it ourselves.
And so what plans do you have for the future of the 48-hour film challenge?
Well, it's still early days at the moment. I mean, what we've been getting, what we've been seeing is still, just rough things, really. I mean, it's been quite interesting to see what people have come up with, but I think in the future we'll have more people getting involved. We'd like to see more people submitting pieces of work.
Ollie himself is in the creation of an iPhone app for it, and I'm making a website which is going to be quite similar to YouTube.
That's cool. Well, thanks very much for joining us on the show. That's all we've got time for this week.
No problem.
Last month we asked you to send us your outtakes. What did you do? You sent us your outtakes.
Nice one. Let's watch the funniest one now.
Action!
You didn't.
Next week, it'll be Games Week, so Andy and Bill will be here to talk about the latest games news. Until then, you can check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and of course our website, what'snextshow.co.uk. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.